The MG Show. What real independent journalism looks like.
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Oh my gosh, welcome to the MG Show. But
the tariffs, they're gone. Trump is bad.
Guys, we're going to walk you through the tariff thing today that the Supreme Court struck down. It's not, don't panic is basically what we're saying, because they're going to use it against you. Okay, that's the PSYOP building. Here we go. All the people that are pro-Trump. Another thing that they're doing is, Shady Groove, I didn't tell you about this, but the FISA court, the Joe Biden lady, Shady Groove, that did the disinformation thing, she was invited to consult with the FISA court, the FIS court. And that's funny. And then everybody thinks Trump is doing that. No, the Boasberg, I think, is the one that wanted to do that. That is, what's her name? Jennifer Daskal, Biden's Ministry of Truth lady, is advising the FISA court on constitutionality, deep state rigging ahead of the 702 reauthorization in April. You guys in Congress, kill FISA, all right? I mean, President Trump said it best, kill FISA. It was illegally used against me. This is from President Trump and many others. They spied on my campaign, DJT. We need to get rid of FISA. This is how they did it. Also, Shady, the next one, another PSYOP that is building is the aliens, Shady. The aliens. Welcome.
Welcome. And isn't that a lot? You're getting started quick because, oh my goodness, do you guys see the con? Okay. Welcome to the show. It is Friday. Here we are, just over a year since Donald Trump was elected. And what did we predict? We predicted that all of the Chicken Littles would act exactly like Chicken Littles. And right now,
the sky is falling.
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Eggs. Don't forget eggs. Eggs.
Shady.
Eggs.
Thank
you. Therefore, we have to really we're reeling ourselves in, right? We've reeled ourselves in to the point where we're sitting here, we're saying, guess who's not taking the bait? We're not taking the bait on any of these different things. Guess what? This level of interference, this is what we're seeing. Whenever you have a clear channel and you're communicating clearly, what they're trying to do is they're trying to interfere with your communications between the president and we the people. The president is the bully pulpit. The country was designed in a way like no other country ever, where a person that was in that seat had this type of power. We did that on purpose, and the founding fathers meant to do that, because without that type of power, you only have a puppet. Donald Trump is not acting as a puppet. All of the people who do all the puppeting are the ones that are screaming at you and telling you that there's something wrong with the person that they're unable to puppet. Okay. There's something wrong with us, people that followed Q, because they're unable to puppet us, because they're unable to say, oh, we can lord over you in this way by threatening you and saying, oh, well, if you're just a Q person, or you don't know anything about scripture, all of these different narratives that they're shoving down your throat, trying to sideline you and insert their narrative, which is, we're the saviors, whether it be Roger Stone, whether it be General Flynn, whether it be Alex Jones. This is what they're doing to you. And every single one of them, Jeff, and you know just as good as I do, they're getting ready to go down every road you mentioned right in our open, whether it be aliens, whether it be he didn't get the tariffs. They will use everything as a weapon against us because they're not on your team.
That's right.
They're not on our team.
They're not. And it's funny, too. I see somebody that is a weird guy saying that if you're a Christian and you follow Q, say something so I can block you. But, when there are attempts to silence, through print and X attacks and fail, and they must now include all these other influencers that are jockeying for position and, going against Bannon and working with Roger Stone, you guys don't tell me what to do. You guys don't tell me what to think. Why put so much attention into this so-called conspiracy, Shady? Why is it critically important for them to change your opinion or prevent you from opening your mind, Shady?
It's very interesting that the way that we're being targeted. We're being targeted by them, and then a number of other people who we've supported are currently participating in it.
Weird, isn't it?
It's Shady. It's unbelievable.
This is a 7-year delta, Shady Groove, and in the Matrix, when their attempts to silence through print fail, they must now include TV video. Why put so much attention into a so-called conspiracy? Why is it critically important for them to change your opinion or prevent you from opening your mind, Shady? Let's check it out.
Just the worst sin. QAnon's like a right-wing marketing.
Now it is. All I'm saying is that doesn't necessarily mean that he wasn't real.
Oh, man. Pizzagate. All right?
Pizzagate.
Seriously?
I mean,
You guys up all night talking nerd?
Well, I mean, he thinks that Q's posts were legit, and I'm saying they're propaganda, but he wants to...
First of all, shut it up. Secondly, one of you mentions Area 51 or a grassy knoll before I finish my coffee, you're gonna get punched.
She always is what you grump in the morning.
Want to see it grow?
Hey, hold on. Listen. While you were sleeping, Crane and I may have figured out how the suspect's been picking his victims.
Isn't that interesting? They brought up Area 51 and a grassy knoll. Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it interesting they brought up Pizzagate?
And Pizzagate.
They brought up every single CIA narrative you can think of. Pizzagate, QAnon, grassy knoll, Area 51. And as a matter of fact, we're going to be talking about all of those here on this show. Welcome to the MG Show today, because they're all relevant to this bunch of numbnuts who are trying to drag you back into the neocon era. That would be Thomas Massey. That would be Rand Paul. That would be General Flynn. All of these people, Alex Jones, Roger Stone, they're not made of the different cloth, guys. It's the same quilt.
Yeah. It's interesting. And you know what? Don't tell me how to think. And don't use the Lord and God to tell me what I need to think. I listen to no man, Miguel California, Brendan Dilley, all you other asshats are going to tell me what to think, ever.
Guys, they brown-nose Roger Stone.
Yeah. Oh. All right, so there's my statement. How's that? And that interesting, wasn't that? That's a 7-year delta, Shady.
It's a 7 years delta today. Yes, let's remind the audience that happened 7 year ago today. And that was literally during the first season of the Matrix Groove Hour. So here we are in February today, the 20th. We started the show on like the 2nd or the 3rd of January in 2019. That was within 2 months of our first broadcast.
Yep. Trump said, this is Elon said he's seen no one else on SpaceX have seen evidence of alien. Trump said he isn't a believer multiple times. But this is different, guys. You had Obama come out on a podcast and give up information that might be classified. And they're trying to probably run the psyop of aliens on you now. Okay, so what does President Trump do? Hey, Pete, get him the documents.
Transparency.
Yeah.
And then what do they do?
Is the only way.
And then what do? Oh, he's trying to distract from the Epstein files. So let me show you the setup. Jeff just explained it to you. Obama goes out in public and says, yes, they're aliens. Everybody flips out, writes all this stuff. Oh, well, no, there's aliens. Then he tries to backtrack. Then Donald Trump comes out and says, well, Obama messed up and he released classified information and he shouldn't have. Maybe I'll save him by making it transparent so that he doesn't get into trouble. And then the Obamaites, let's remember that these people are, Flynn really, all this whole group really did serve Obama, right? That's who they started under. They were under Obama. The McChrystal digital soldier bots are Obamaites. Then they run out and say, Donald Trump's trying to distract from the Epstein files and try to claim that he's initiating Project Bluebeam, Jeff, which let me remind the audience, Project Bluebeam is whenever the government sends the alien craft and lands it in the yard somewhere, and then they say they have no idea what's going on. And the little creatures walk out and they start dictating policy to the earth, and we all get in line with it. That's Project Bluebeam. That's not what Donald Trump is doing.
That's right. Midnight's Watch 10 subscriptions. Thank you so very much. My gosh,
they are
awesome.
so incessantly horrible, bro. You see why we're here now, Jeff?
Yeah.
You think our work is done? You think that do you see what they're going to do ad nauseum? They're not going to stop this. If there's not somebody standing in the gap, they're just going to get away with all of it.
Yeah. Shady Groove, I want to do a quick document. Here, let me just see if I can accept. Let me see. Wait. Let me just cancel. Let me get the. Yeah, we got a new sponsor today, guys, and I want to just make sure that we do this correctly. Let me just grab it and accept. Shady, hang on one second. And it is this, guys. It's a very amazing product, guys. It's a workout and fitness angle. If you guys are working out and using fitness, let me put it to you. Let me put you onto something that lately that's honestly leveled up my workouts. It's called Blood Flow 7 by Juvenon. If you ever felt like you should be getting a better pump in the gym, come on, yeah. And you're training hard and you're eating clean, but something's just missing. This might be it. Blood Flow 7 works by increasing nitric oxide production in your body. That means better circulation, better oxygen delivery, and yeah, way better muscle pumps. You actually feel it. The endurance, the recovery, and the fullness, guys. I started taking it, and the difference in my stamina and post-workout recovery is wild. My lifts feel much smoother, and that flat feeling, it's gone. There's no sketchy pre-workout kind of deal either. It's natural. I mean, that pre-workout was a crash, guys, and it's not that kind of deal either. It's natural, and it keeps your blood vessels flexible, your energy level steady, and it doesn't make you feel weird at all. Quite the opposite, actually. But it's just not for the gym. Better blood flow means more oxygen to your brain, which means better focus and more natural energy throughout the day. Even better cardiovascular health overall. You feel more awake, more focused, and just sharper. This stuff is scientifically backed with premium ingredients. So if you want to feel the pump, boost the performance, and get your blood flow right, check out bloodflow7.com/MG. for 30% off. Trust me, it's a game changer. Hit the link below. Grab some Blood Flow 7 today. And again, bloodflow7.com/MG. Get it while it's in stock and see what it does for your workouts.
Wow. I'm going to try some of that. New sponsor.
It's good.
Thank you so much to the new sponsor and to Rumble for considering us to be part of this program. This is amazing. This is a lot better than what we were doing before. Remember, guys, before we came on at 5 after, then we had to come in, then we had to run the ads, and it was like a 5-minute block, and then we came back, and it took us a minute to get started. I love this. This is so much better, and we can get into our rhythm a little quicker here.
That's it. That's right.
That's awesome.
So let's go ahead and talk about President Donald J. Trump. It was the Fox News guy that asked the question, Shady.
Yes.
That guy asked. Okay, here we go. Check it out.
It is so bad. I agree.
Barack Obama said that aliens are real. Have you seen any evidence of non-human visitors to Earth?
Well, he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that.
So aliens are real?
Well, I don't know if they're real or not. I can tell you he gave classified information. He's not supposed to be doing that. He made a big mistake. He took it out of classified information. No, I don't have an opinion on it. I never talk about it. A lot of people do. A lot of people believe it. Do you believe it, Peter?
Well, if the president can declassify anything that he wants to,
well,
so if you want to make an announcement.
I may get him out of trouble by declassifying.
We know illegal aliens are real.
Yeah, illegal. Only illegals.
I love that. And the Q post 2222 was Q. Are we alone? Roswell? No. Highest classification. Consider the vastness of space. Now, it doesn't mean that they're little green, gray. We don't know what that means, but consider the vastness of space if there's life outside of this, globe that we live on, or flat Earth, depending. I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Like, guys, just consider the vastness of space. That is a Q post that was in the Q&A. Are we alone? No. Highest classification. And he just said that Obama talked about classified information and consider the vastness of space. But Trump kind of played it off.
This is really awesome. This is so really, really amazing to watch the way that he plays these people like a fiddle. Because remember, in the first administration, it was kind of like we were just playing the left, right? When the drops were coming out, we were like playing the left like a fiddle. Now it's different. The left is no different than the Alex Jones people. What's the difference between Owen Schroyer's perspective and Jim Stewartson now of Donald Trump? Or look at people like Nick Fuentes or Mike Cernovich or Steve Bannon. Like, look at all of these people that have been like acting like they're on our team. They act like they're representing us, Jeff. This is the real kicker. Like, these people walk around in the world acting like that they represent what it means to be a conservative and what a conservative ideology really is and what conservation actually is and what are the real core values. Let me tell you something, guys. The core values of America do not stem from a church in Europe. Okay, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that are in positions in media all over the place that scream at you about, their loyalty to an entity that is not America. Okay, and so I'm just going to make this clear. The reason you have America is because that entity ran the people out of Europe. It ran the people out of Europe. They were so excited to get on a boat and possibly die to leave this hole in Europe to come to a new place to start a new life where they could possibly keep what it was that they earned whenever America won the revolution in 1776. We became the dream of the world to come here. Now they're acting like these people in our media are speaking for us, and they speak for conservatism as they, have, Roger Stone type parties or Proud Boy type parties. Give me a break.
Yeah. I got some really good Florida news, guys.
I'm on my way, bro.
Two things. So the Florida House, just voted 80-30 to abolish property taxes for homeowners.
Dude. So I got to come to Florida.
You got the next thing, and you're going to fly into Trump International Airport, Shady Grove. Yes. Yes, because right here, the now boarding Florida legislature approves renaming Palm Beach International Airport after Trump, so it will be the Trump International Airport, Shady Grove.
Talk about triggered. Every single liberal that has to fly into that area has to get a ticket for Donald Trump International.
Yeah.
He always wanted an airport named after him.
I mean, he should get one.
I mean, maybe we should just name all the airports Donald Trump.
Yeah, after they get upgraded with proper, look, these airports are so behind the times, guys, and they use a life cycle where they take their AS400 and just move it, and they're still using it, guys. I'm telling you, the FAA, via the Harris Corporation that runs the FAA communications, is fooked, okay? And that's why we need new technology, as Elon was talking about, and Duffy is doing, and President Trump and this administration will, you flying on airplanes is probably, it needs to be safe, guys. There should be no cost providing the safety that we need technology-wise to our American people.
Well, wait a minute now. So now they're telling me I'm safe. They're telling me that what makes me safe is TSA. So you're telling me that it's not TSA that makes me safe. What would actually make me safe is if the numbnuts up there in the booth knew how to use the equipment and didn't let airplanes run into one another. That makes me safe.
I'm safe, Shady. Look, pat me down.
Look at me. I'm all naked on your monitor. Exactly. Here, let me stand here like I'm a criminal.
Touch me now. Isn't that a song?
Don't look there.
So you got that. So, guys, just, people need to relax a little bit. You don't think President Trump and, let's go to the, Supreme Court knocking down, the tariff deal. But people don't understand that the Supreme Court, okay, basically issued a ruling today. And I'm just going to read this from here because it's good.
I think that's good just to go ahead and read it.
Yeah. The Supreme Court issued a ruling today, February 20th, 2026, in cases 1287 and 25-250, holding that President Trump exceeded his authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. Okay. So that's all they're talking about is the IEEPA when imposing certain sweeping tariffs. This decision is a setback for Trump's America First, economic agenda, which rightfully prioritizes protecting U.S. workers, our sovereignty, and trade fairness against globalists' exploitation. However, it doesn't strip the executive of all tariff powers. Far from it. And here's the breakdown, Shady, based on the official opinion. The ruling's core in a 6-3 decision, the court invalidated tariffs imposed under IEEPA, stating the law does not authorize the president to levy tariffs. Chief Justice Roberts wrote for the majority, joined by Sotomayor, Kagan, Gorsuch, Barrett, and Jackson in key parts. Quote, the ordinary meaning of the key statutory term in IEEPA, the word regulate, is capacious. So much so that it could be understood to capture much of what the government does. But it is not enough to sustain the president's claim because the statute does not clearly grant him the extraordinary delegated powers he seeks. The majority applied to the major question doctrine, requiring explicit congressional authorization for actions with vast economic impact, in other words, tariffs projected to reduce the deficit by $4 trillion, emphasizing that the tariffs are a core congressional power under Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. So the scope and limits, this only affects tariffs under IEEPA, and this is very important. Not all of them. Tariffs on steel, aluminum, and other imposed via laws like Section 232, Trade Expansion Act of 1962, remain intact. Okay. The court noted IEEPA's history shows no prior presidential use for tariffs since 1977, and its text focused on regulating foreign policy dealings, not revenue-raising duties. The dissent's view, Justice Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh dissented strongly, arguing that IEEPA's broad language to regulate importation clearly includes tariffs as a traditional tool backed by historical precedents like Nixon's 1971 tariffs. Thomas wrote, quote, throughout American history, the authority to regulate importation has been understood to include the authority to impose duties on imports, end quote. They criticized the majority for over applying the major questions doctrine in foreign affairs, where executive flexibility is essential for a national security and economic nationalism. So the presidential authority on tariffs, yes, the president as head of the executive branch has significant control over tariffs through congressional delegations in various laws. Section 232 for national security threats, or Trade Act of 1974 for unfair practices. The Constitution gives Congress primary power to impose duties, Article 1, Section 8, but it has delegated authority to the executive for efficiency in trade policy. President Trump's use of these tools was a bold, necessary move to counter unfair trade from countries like China, preserving American jobs, your jobs, and your sovereignty. The ruling wrongly limits under IEEPA, potentially benefiting China and globalists and bloodlines, but the president can pivot to other statutes or push Congress for a clearer authority to continue our Make America Great Again priorities like broader security and economic strength. Don't panic.
That's a good summation there. And I was glad to see a number of these different things, but I was really disappointed to see the reality that we have Justice Roberts and Justice Barrett who are wrong. They were wrong in their decision making. They were wrong in the way that they argued, and they basically advertised for, they advocated for China, and that's very unfortunate because that's who's going to gain from this short-term reality. But the long-term reality would be that if we had a situation in America that was normal and people in Congress understood the law, then theoretically, yes, the tariff guidelines should be generated from Congress. But Congress abdicated their duties whenever they did something insane, like pass NAFTA, okay, which literally gutted our whole country. It gutted everything. That should be proof positive that these people don't know what they're doing. And then they went on to say that everybody else can have free trade with us. In other words, you can send all of your crap here for nothing, and we won't advocate whatsoever to have our stuff sold in their markets. We'll just allow them to charge us a 30% tariff while we charge them nothing. And we call that free trade. And we all like walk around like zombies and pretend like nothing's going on. I can see it. It's a lot clearer than that.
We have breaking news, Shady. Thank you to our producer, Yeti. President Trump will hold a press conference and briefing on the Supreme Court's tariff decision at 12:45 p.m. And it will be played here at the MG show, Shady. It's got to.
Oh, wow. So he's coming in. That's like 15 minutes.
Yes, it's like 15 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We might have to, maybe
we should suspend premium for today to bring that, and then we'll come back and do premium for like the State of the Union or something next week.
Yeah. So don't change the channel. Stay on this channel. The MG Show will hold President Trump's press briefing on the Supreme Court tariff decision coming up at 12:45. Shady.
No, I'm glad that we're going to be able to bring that here. I want to hear his thoughts live with you, and I'd like to share my thoughts about what it is that he has to say as he says them. I have been advocating for if Shady were to be president, I would have done very similar things to what Donald Trump did by grabbing these people by the throat and setting them back over in their chairs in the corner and saying, it's our market you're accessing. Effectively, this is what we're doing. It's our market. We are the consumers. We are the people that buy billions and billions of dollars worth of crap that we don't need. Most other countries don't have the wealth to buy crap they don't need. Most other countries barely can afford the things they do need, you see? So there's a big deal to have access to our market, and we're not being fairly treated by the corporations. And the reason is because of the bloodline control and the Federal Reserve and the years and years and years of aristocratic chokehold on the real enterprise economy.
That's right. And, the tariffs are responsible for the great USA economic numbers, guys. You guys, I don't care what party you are, you need tariffs, okay? We're sick of sending our money overseas and funding other people. This is what you need for your family. I don't care what party you are, because tariffs go back a long way, pre-Federal Reserve, okay? So what we're doing is fighting and restructuring the Federal Reserve with the tariffs, guys.
So
there was a smart man, the other Shady Groove, that actually talked about tariffs. Shady, we talked about tariffs in 2018. You did. And then we on the show again in, a couple times. Let's play it.
Okay.
Because you guys got to understand why tariffs are important. Okay.
And you can not only just understand, but you can clearly see that the country was funded by foreign financing from tariffs, by the idea that you could import. Even George Washington said, what we want is we want people here to make the things that the people here need. We don't need all the we don't need all the tea from China whenever we can make some of the tea here. Effectively saying what it is that we can't make here, we want to import, but we want to charge people to have the access to our market. This was the very beginning of a free market. There was no such thing. I just want to, people think that everybody takes it for granted. There was no such thing as a free market before 1776.
That's right. That's right. And, people, how was Washington, D.C. built? You know how it was built? Tariffs. Okay. Wigwam, 10 subscriptions to the MG Show. God bless you. Thank you so much. And Midnight's Watch. Here's a woodchuck for the Woodchuck Chuck for the Friday's Woodchuck Show. $100, man. Thank you so much. Shady, let's play the tariffs. I mean, we've talked about this since 2018.
Everything you need to prove to anyone about what a tariff is and how it functions. 1792, the budget percentage of tariffs, 95% of the budget came from tariffs. That's that category. Federal receipts, 4.6 million. All these are in millions of US dollars. Income tax and payroll tax, both, nothing there. Nothing there all the way down through the 1800s. Oh, the late 1800s and Look at this. Oh, look at all of the millions and millions. These are $333 million tariffs are bringing into our country. Oh, the globalists come in. Oh, we got to have a Federal Reserve. Oh, here he comes. And then all of a sudden, watch this number on the left go down, which is how much you get from a tariff over on the left. And then watch this number right here next to the payroll tax number go up as you move through. You could not make a better graphic than this. This is the reason that you have nothing. This is the reason that you, as America, have absolutely nothing, and the establishment has everything. And once they gained all of this power and control over being able to tax you, then they started using that money and sending it out to foreign aid, Jeff. And then what did they do with the money?
Gave it to the foreigners.
They gave it to the foreigners, and then they gave it back to your politicians to sell you down the river even further.
Exactly
so we're
right.
Paying for our own demise is basically
that's exactly what they did to us.
And that's exactly what they did to us, Shady.
And, I just want you guys to understand. I want you guys to understand the con, because this is the reality is the aristocracies of the world saw us becoming wealthy for the first time. You want to talk about the bloodlines, and you want to talk about the aliens, you want to talk about the origins of humanity, the different reasons that we talk about the bloodlines is because they feel like they have they feel like they have a right to rule over you. That's the reason that it's important. It doesn't matter what you think. What matters is what they think. And we're looking at a situation where America became so wealthy, we started bringing in all of this wealth for the individual, not the aristocracy, not the bloodline, not yes, they were making that, but real people were becoming wealthy. Real people were inventing things that made life better for human beings. All of a sudden, we got a refrigerator, an air conditioner, a car, a locomotive, a ship, a train, like all of these different things that we built, that we made because we were allowed to have freedom to innovate without the idea that anything that we innovated would be taken from us and given back to someone. That is what changed the game. And now what they really did, and what you can see with that graphic right there, is they turned the tariff, which was paying you, into an income tax, which paid them. And then they took that income tax money that was paying them, and they started just offshoring everything out of the country for 100 years. And then they started making the rest of the world look like America. And the next thing you know, you got McDonald's in Beijing, and that's no different than McDonald's in the Netherlands or McDonald's in Japan. You see what I'm saying? This is how they did it. And so they make it seem like, oh, America is just another one of all of these that are equal. Not equal. And tariffs was one of the things that makes us not equal.
That's right.
Powerful. Makes us powerful.
In Holland, they serve the fries with friet sauce. I don't know if you guys have ever had friet sauce. Whoa. Whew. What? Friet sauce? All right. So, yeah. Go ahead,
I'm scared.
Yeah. It was really good, though. So we got that going. I'm waiting for President Trump here.
Oh.
I don't see a live yet, Shady, on YouTube, but I'm also looking on X. But I'm telling you guys, there's a lot going on in this news right now.
I'm glad he's got his thoughts together to talk to us about it already, because I have a feeling I know of some of the things he's going to say, and we are not going to panic. We're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and we're not going to like scream and pull our hair out and light it on fire and start to say, oh, it's all finished and done and over. Ever. Okay. Yeah. That's what I want to bring to you. There is never a moment. I want to explain this very clearly. There's never a moment when you quit. Okay. It's like everybody is out there trying to like think they can overtop you somehow. Like they're at some point you've like had enough. And like at the point you've had enough, you just quit. That's what they want you to do. That's what they wanted us to do here. They wanted to like drive so many maddening things at us that we just said, wait a minute, this is too much. You're not going to quit. You're not going to quit if no matter what happened today, no matter what happened tomorrow, you're not going to quit. You know who didn't quit? All the people that fought for you to be here to not quit. Don't quit on yourself. Don't quit on your country, and don't quit on don't let these people make you think that you have some reason to quit ever.
Absolutely. I'm just trying to find the link here, guys. Sorry. I don't see one yet. All right. So, and Yeti, okay, Yeti, you're watching. Good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's get into the road safety, Shady. You did a post on the big road safety win under your president, my president, and even the people going, Their president. Shady, you did a little thing about the big road safety under President Trump. You got that? You want me to put it on screen, or
I got it.
you got
I got you. I got it right here, guys. This is recently we've been talking about the Department of Transportation's different takedowns of tractor trailers around the country. We've seen these incidents where tractor trailers, drivers of big rigs, have killed a number of Americans. It's well over 20 people have been killed by these people that do not have proper CDLs. A lot of them can't speak English. So what's being done about it? Nothing's ever being done, right? Donald Trump's just sitting there on his key shirt. Oh, wait. Big announcement. Road safety win under President Trump. Secretary Duffy and DOT just took down, listen, I'm going to go slow, took down over 550 sham CDL mills, fake trucking schools that were churning out unqualified drivers with minimal or completely fraudulent training. Meaning, guys, that they were putting 80,000-pound trucks on the road and sending these drivers to companies, and companies were hiring these people to drive their trucks. We're talking 550 of 1,400 in America total were shut down. A massive, in 5 days, by the way. You know, you're talking about nobody gets anything done.
Wow.
In 5 days, a nationwide sting took place where 1,426 on-site investigations occurred. That means somebody went as a mole to 1,420 places in 5 days. They found that 448 schools gave them removal notices. 109 of them, they voluntarily shut down because they saw that they were being investigated, and 97 more of them are currently under review that will probably be shut down. These scams used unqualified instructors. That means people that were there that were teaching them how to drive a truck that isn't qualified to drive a truck. Wrong vehicles, meaning vehicles that aren't up to date on their secure or safety protocols. Fake addresses, meaning PO boxes for trucking companies, and even one that trained school bus drivers. So the illegals are driving your kids home from school too. The crackdown make our highways safer and begin to restore trust in professional trucking. Thanks to the Trump administration and Secretary Duffy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to drop this link to you if you care to share, but this is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Want to talk about making me mental?
Wow.
This makes me mental, man.
I know. I mean, think about it. I mean, they've had a girl that was actually hit and she had like brains. I mean, my God, guys, this is not funny. Okay.
Oh, no, this is not funny.
This is serious stuff. And, you know, they can't read the signs. You don't speak English. You can't read the signs. You know, you can't, you don't know our roadways. You don't understand it. Like, could you imagine, Shady, you going over to India and getting a CDL in India?
No, I can't, not mention it. And, but the thing is, you know, you guys, a lot of you that are on the East Coast,
while being illegal,
you know, like it
wouldn't happen. First of all, go ahead. Sorry.
Number one, there's a lot of flat ground between the Rocky Mountains and you guys. Okay, between the Rocky Mountains and me, it is insane. Like these, like coming across these passes and driving through. Like if I go from Southern Oregon, like say like toward Portland or up north, up I-5, I got to go through like 7 different passes where you climb the mountain, get to the top, and then come down the other side, and you are driving at 65 miles an hour around 10, 20, 30 of these big trucks, and they are acting odd, bro. Like I've noticed it for years. Like they don't adhere. Like you can't, the tractor trailer is not allowed to get in the farthest left lane, ascending a hill, but they all just jump over in front of you and they think they're making time. That's why they're doing this, because they're, and the companies should be held accountable that are hiring illegal immigrants to drive trucks. That's right.
Shady, Yeti, we can do the new sponsor now, right? They said mid-show. We're almost mid-show, right? Before Okay. All right. So we got another new sponsor, guys. It's pretty good. I'm kind of liking this one. I might become a client to these guys. Let me just grab it because it's here it is. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to shoot with the same precision tech used by the U.S. Special Forces? Well, good news. After years of research and development, guys, this is amazing. MCG Tactical just dropped something incredible. The Stinger Compact Sight. This is amazing. This isn't your average red dot. It's using holographic technology once reserved for the elite military and law enforcement. The Stinger delivers crystal clear precision, so accurate you could hit a dime at 300 yards without even trying. This exact same level technology is used by the pros, but here's the twist. Most sites like this go for $600 or more, and people happily pay it. But right now, through an exclusive deal with MCG Tactical, you can get this mil-spec sight for under $200. And better yet, guys, it gets better. For my listeners, for the listeners of the MG Show, you're going to get 67% off. And they are going to cover the shipping. Just scan the QR code on your screen or go to mcgtac.com/MG. That's mcgtac.com/MG to get yours today. The only catch, supply is tight. So these are already flying off the shelves. So if you want to get the site built for the best, now's your shot. Grab yours before they have to shut down orders, guys. Go get them now. Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, that is really cool. I was actually looking into this a little bit whenever we were doing that. The technology that's coming for everything is just amazing.
It is.
Everything is just getting ready to get such a big upgrade in our world.
So we were approached by these guys through the ad people at Rumble, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm probably going to become a client.
And so will a bunch of the people in this audience, I bet, after seeing that. That was a great read, by the way.
You know, it was the first time, so you know how it is. It gets better.
That was a mediocre read.
It was a mediocrity.
Mediocre.
Socrates?
Mediocrates.
I used to love Socrates.
I know you did. Back in NAM.
Bill and Ted. All right, guys. So MG Show is gaining sponsorship. We're growing. Thanks to you. You guys are keeping us here as well. We still need you, like Midnight's Watch Wow, the $100 Rumble Rant. We had Wigwam with 10 subscription and Midnight's again with 10 subscriptions. Guys, we cannot thank you enough for helping this show out. We wouldn't be here without him, Shady.
We would not. And we wouldn't be here without the man in the arena. And what it is that was the most interesting thing to me is that what we doing here is trying to follow him, and everyone wants to distract us. Everyone wants to bring us, they know better than we do. They've got more information than we do. They got super secret insider sources that are telling them, you know, we're not making this up to tell you that they're out there saying that Donald Trump's family is currently being blackmailed. And that's the reason that he's making decisions that he is making. This is what they're telling people. So what we are presenting to you is to go help a friend that has the Alex Jones disease, the InfoWars infection, because we can cure it. And we know that we can cure it because we've had, I would say, probably close to 5,000 emails over the course of our show that explained to us that you guys understand that what they were saying to you isn't real. So that means that if that means that everybody in their audience that they're saying it to that's soaking this up are making decisions in their real world based on things that they're seeing from these people. They're probably still out there trying to buy 5 years worth of grain. I'm telling you, you don't need to do that. The future is bright. The golden age is just around the corner. And what we're getting ready to see as far as technologically improvement of your life and of our society, regardless of this thing that just happened with the tariffs. I think it could have happened faster if they haven't been idiotic with this tariff decision. But I do think that we're still going to be able to get past it because I don't think that Donald Trump's agenda ends in 2028. I think that the American people are waking up. I think that they see a positive outcome in all of these different arenas, no matter what these idiots online say. And that the more that people that are nefarious lie, the less
they don't want you thinking for yourself, Shady. That's bottom line.
That is really the bottom line. It's a really good summation because at the end of the day, they don't want you thinking for yourself. They want you to think through their filter. Like, you know, the filter of, Q is Bannon and Epstein.
You know,
okay.
You know what I read. Okay, look. Statement on that. Look. We read it. We lived it. Okay,
oh my God.
And it was real, and it was pretty damning. Why the attacks? If it was like Bigfoot, Shady, we wouldn't be censored off all these platforms.
Well, now we're going to get to talk about aliens, and they're not going to censor us.
Yay!
You know, but if we talk about government corruption and what Q is exposing about it, next thing you know, we're Epstein.
Yeah. And look, we were trying to disprove it. That's how I started. I'm a very cynical person. And, I think I'm fairly smart, right? I think I can figure some stuff out. And I'm like, holy moly, this is what I've learned. But it's going a little deeper. It's pretty amazing, Shady.
The reality of what the time that the timeline, we couldn't have a better timeline. I love my timeline. I really do. I do. You could be on the timeline where Hillary won in 2016. Just imagine you're on the timeline just where Hillary won in 2016. You want to talk about like what was Back to the Future? Remember the future in Back to the Future? The bad future, the Biff future? Like that, we would be in the Biff future had we gotten Hillary in 2016. That's what they wanted to do. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to make an announcement. If you're living in New York City out there, you better get out now. Things are getting ready to get bad.
We need to raise your taxes. So, listen to that logic, okay?
They're insane.
Spending and giving away money to foreign countries, okay? But you need your taxes raised.
Right. Yeah, because they can't give enough. They got to give more, you see. It's like you can't, it's not about like ending corruption. It's about affording it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta get the taxes up so you can afford the corruption.
It's just like, guys, common sense, wins, guys. It's and nobody has it anymore, Shady. Everybody's falling for these weird things online, and people are, jockeying for who's the best influencer and who, guys, stop it. There's room for all of us. Room for all of you.
Yeah, well, you got room for them to be wrong.
Right. Let me just see what we got here. I'm just trying.
They have the opportunity to be right. They could say things that were correct.
Yep.
Everybody's got that opportunity.
Yep. Oh, and breaking news: Melania is presenting her 2025 inaugural gown to the Smithsonian National Museum of American History.
Wow,
that's pretty cool.
It was a really good movie, by the way.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy it. I don't know if I talked about that, but I did go to see her movie, and the whole setup was so cool to see. A little bit behind the scenes, there was some really down to earth moments with Donald Trump towards the end of the movie as he's coming home after the whole day. It's like 2 a.m, and just the moment that you see there is pretty spectacular.
Let's listen to the First Lady today. Check it out.
All right.
The human condition is captured within every stitch. The idea to endure and rise above mediocrity, to reach the highest level, America's destiny. This black and white masterpiece showcases America's pure spirit of originality, superior engineering, and boundless creativity. It's a statement as to why America's fashion industry can lead the rest of the world. Personally, I relish the entire design process from start to finish. It takes a time, it's slow, but the end result is always magical. If you had a chance to see my new film, Melania, you're well aware of what it took to bring this technical marvel to life. We must take pride not only in the small rituals of self-care, but in the courageous act of self-expression, our outward appearance to the world. The art of presenting oneself can be cultivated over a lifetime, yet even the young girl who takes care of herself from inside out with precision every morning leaves for school with a more confident step and a steady gaze, confident to claim her place in the world. This spark pays dividends, stays with her for a lifetime. I'm honored to have our creative vision on display here, once again, within the walls of this institution, indefinitely. Thank you.
That is a beautiful First Lady, and the dress she was referring to, Shady Groove, let me just show it to you here. Here it is right here. Check that out. If you guys forgot. In case you guys didn't remember. Black and white. You see that, Shady Groove? Black and white.
Black and white. I'm looking around in the studio. What am I seeing?
Black and white. Why are we always on the same page?
I don't really understand that.
So that's what we call an MG show proof, okay?
Is that
We
what-
did the
that's
black
what-
and white
that's what
logo. Wow. Magic Woman. So we're working with Rumble for these. If you want to contact them.
We're in touch.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm just saying, I can give her the guy's name now because that's how we have to do it.
Not necessarily, but understood.
Okay.
I haven't talked. I haven't
All right,
got
that's enough.
to talk
And
to you
so I
about
got the link. I got the link right here. President Trump delivers remarks. We're waiting for President Trump. And I just had some filler there with the beautiful First Lady, Shady Group. Wow.
Like I said, I got to see her, like in the movie, you get to see her kind of make that dress. And it's very interesting the way the inspiration that came to make the dress. You know, it's like wouldn't it be nice if like everybody that came to America had the reverence to America that Melania has? Do you think that maybe that's one thing that the media, one of the reasons the media go after her the way that they do is because she's a person who came here and became an American and loves America and now has become the first lady of the country and wants to give back. And all they do is like try to smear her and attack her whenever she probably one of the most talented people I've ever seen.
You know, I'd also like to throw in that she knows all about human trafficking. She knows about the industry. She was a very successful model. Okay. And I have a feeling that's why President Trump knows all about human trafficking. I'm thinking there's some crossover there, Shady.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, I'm thinking that they have similar concerns, and that's probably their similar concerns to the reason that we even know anything about Epstein right now.
Lisa 17 Blair, I started out believing in the info on the drops, the 17 key drops, by trying to disprove it. Sorry, Steve, hubby. But that's true. Thank you, Lisa 17 Blair. Appreciate you. United States of Q is in the house. He just got his big tax refund. Here's a little sum from my favorite two crew. Love y'all. That's a $50 Rumble rant, friend. Wow. Congratulations. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime, guys.
And, the Supreme Court, we know Donald Trump was trying to get rid of your income taxes, and the Supreme Court wants you to keep those income taxes. So I have a feeling that he's going to work. He's going to figure out a workaround. But right now they're trying to really mess this up, man.
And, just remember, they keep telling you that Trump is racist.
Without all the negative talk about him, it's easy to draw opinion from others. But I watched his last speech on his campaign, and I was very moved by it. I agree with so many things that he said. And I was like, wow, why are they so negative? And I kind of followed him from that point. Unfortunately, I'll be honest, this year I didn't vote at all because I didn't have a lot of confidence in that other cabinet. But I did, they had me afraid to vote for Trump because of all the stuff they were saying. But every time I heard him speak, especially that last one, I was like, wow, he's awesome. What he's saying is true. It's real. So what are they angry about? And as time gone on, I don't understand everything because I don't know anything about foreign affairs and all that. I'm not really educated in that area, but I am educated in the world order, and I see him doing a lot of things with the National Guard. I thought that was awesome. I understood where he was coming from, as my daughter said, in the areas, but even in the district as a whole, it was a lot of crime and killings going on. And I was like, wow, that's just, when I went to that, the Speaker of Congress, I walked through, Union Station. I had never seen Union Station so clean, so safe.
Oh, I've heard it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Back to what it should be.
Beautiful. I could not believe that. I'm a Washingtonian, been living here for years. Never seen the Union Station look like that.
So it sounds.
And when I walked across the park, you can sit in the park anywhere. There's seats. There's no homeless people out there. There's no, offensive smells. It was beautiful.
Wow.
And that's just the beginning. I mean, President Trump has ideas to make that capital, your capital of the United States, the most beautiful capital. And it should be, because we are the most powerful country on earth, Shady.
Yeah, and look at what they're doing in the next door neighbor. They're trying to intentionally release thousands of gallons of raw sewage into the water so that they can somehow contaminate that exact desire for Donald Trump to make Washington, D.C. desirable again. They can't help but make it a swamp. That's what they want. They want it to be a swamp.
Well, it is a swamp, and we're going to drain it.
We're trying to drain it. They keep trying to fill it up.
I don't know if you saw this today, Shady. President Trump invited the fake news into his governor's meeting this morning and then immediately kicked him out. Check this. This is
I
hilarious.
love that. Come on in. Get out of here.
Thank you. You can leave now.
Are you considering a limited military strike to pressure Iran into a deal?
Thank you, press. Keep moving. Thank you.
Are you considering a limited strike, sir?
Thank you, press.
Thank you. You are considering that? How seriously are you considering that, sir?
Have you talked to the governor about the press?
Exiting out this morning. When will you be making that decision, sir?
Thank you, press.
Who's that person?
Oh, I love that so much.
Who is that person? Are you considering a military strike? He's making fun of her. These people are insane, Shady.
They're not smart.
You know, my mom's like, oh, we're going to go to war. There's going to be no war. There's not going to be no ground troops, I don't think, Shady Groove. It's going to be like discombobulation and just stop it.
It's so funny.
Right? What is happening in that clip? That clip is President Trump kicking the fake news out. He said, come on in. And then they all got in there and said, okay, you can leave now. I love it. Oh, man. That's our president, Shady. That's your president.
Hi, President. The winning continues.
Let's take a quick 5-minute break. If President Trump comes in, we will interrupt and come right live with President Donald J. Trump making his announcement on the tariff Supreme Court decision. We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
Use promo code MGSHOW or call 1-800-873-0478. That's 1-800-873-0478.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spilty, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
left to keep. The snowball's rolling, no stopping it now. D5 avalanche coming, hear the thunder somehow. Trust the plan, stay the course and trust the plan. Protective measures are in place, remain brave. We knew this day, united we stand, worldwide fight. WW into the light, trust the plan. The information coming will intensify resolve. Pure evil exposed, watch the corrupt dissolve. Hussein's abuse of power, domestic and foreign hands. The Great Awakening spreading across the lands. Conspiracy no more, we fight, we win. God bless the Patriots, let the storm begin. Trust the plan, stay the course and trust the plan. Protective measures are in place, remain brave. We knew this day, united we stand, worldwide fight. WWGA into the light, trust the plan.
The swamp is being drained, resignations flow. Insurance policy exposed, their panic starts to show. They never thought she would lose, careless blind, no such agency watching, nothing left behind. April showers bring the pain, Iron Eagle soaring, breaking every chain. Shout out MG, show Matrix and Shady Crew, dropping red pills daily, waking me and you. MG music on the beat, anthems firing loud, Patriots locked and loaded, standing tall and proud.
You cannot imagine the size of this. More good than bad, the world is with us. We are not alone, connected in the fight. Patriots unite, we own the night. Future proofs past, history books will show. The message is ready now, the whole world knows. Trust the plan, stay the course and trust the plan. We are winning, big arrests will come. God and country, the battle's won. Every single day they fall literally. For God and country, victory. Trust the plan. Where we go one, we go all. Godspeed, Patriots.
Ha Little MG music, trust the plan. You don't think President Trump has a plan after this Supreme Court thing? Oh, you're going to be severely mistaken, because he's coming up next. President Trump will deliver remarks. We will carry it live. They are not there yet, but that's typical Trump fashion, Shady. He's never on time with this, is he?
He's always on time. He's on his time, not your time.
We will do it in our time, right? So these arrests, all the stuff, everybody reeing and wanting, the timeline is on his watch, not yours, not Alex Jones's, not General Flynn, not Steve Bannon, not Ivan Ranklin, not Miguel Fiorina, not Dilley, not anybody, guys. It's on President Trump's watch, guys.
That's the only watch. And then that's the watch. This is going to be the metric. The Donald Trump administration that you're currently seeing right now is going to be the metric going forward of how the person that wins that office is supposed to act. You're supposed to spend your political capital. You're not supposed to sit on it and save it. And this is a big thing to understand about what it was that the founders meant for your country. They wanted the president to actually effectively change things that they saw in the current time were problems and were things that harmed the larger country as a whole, not things that harmed your particular political party, but the things that would harm people and the things that you could, and to be able to prioritize the things you can do something about and the things that you can't do something about. and do something about the things that you can. That is the difference between what America is and the rest of the country, or the rest of the countries on earth are. And that's the thing that they're trying to separate. They're trying to dilute your country as they make other countries seem important. And right now you can see the fight. The true fight is between the people that call themselves globalists think that humans are a problem. The people that are on our side, conservatism, think people are the solution.
That's right.
The people can solve the problems if the people are allowed to solve the problems, Jeff. But if people that create the problems intentionally want to solve the problems with their solution instead of the right solution, there all of a sudden becomes friction, right? And so Donald Trump is trying to implement the right solution to their wrong solution, and they're trying to convince people that don't know the wiser that the wrong solution is better for them.
Oh my God, we got the daughter of APAL Anon in here now.
All right.
Welcome. Hi. Good to see you.
God
we love
APAL.
You. He's a great friend, and we've met. I met him where was that? That was when JT Wild had the band Shady in Missouri, I think it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We've learned a lot since then, have we not, my friend? Wow. Together. We all learned together. Because, we all didn't know, right? We didn't know what we were up against. And we were actually hanging out with the people that we were up against. Wow.
That's who we ended. That's who was sitting there waiting. That was the digital soldiers. Yep. The digital soldiers are still active today. They're unbelievably huge as far as their reach and their ability to control the narrative.
That's right. So we got that. Okay, let's go look and see what we got to just.
And so, by the way, guys, we are suspending our premium content for today. Thank you all so much to the premium subscribers out there. I think what we're going to do is we're going to cover the State of the Union address live for our premium guys. And so we're going to be here live for the rest of the day here on Friday. We're waiting for Donald Trump to come in to announce, talk to us about the tariff decision that came down today. And in the meantime, I would just like to give a shout out to all of the red castles out there that make this chat solid red every day, and all the people that help keep everybody in subscription, all the wonderful Rumble gifts that you're giving, all of the Rumble rants that you've given, all of the donations that you've given to us have gotten us here. We thank you so much for it. We literally can say that we are the only source that is 100% supported by you. You are supporting us, and thank goodness for Rumble for giving us the opportunity for you to support us in different ways.
That's right. Yeti, there's 3 for the one. I should only do one, right? Okay. I'm here. I don't see it.
You might be on a delay.
You mean it says we'll begin shortly, right, Yeti?
Uh-oh. Where's
that link?
We have a slow leaking. We're working on getting it to you. He may we're not sure, guys. I think that we're on our way over.
No, chat where? Zoom?
Yep. Where else?
There's links in Discord. There's links in Zoom. Let me see what we got here. No, what are you talking about? It still says we'll begin shortly, right? February 19th. What's the date today? The 20th. That's yesterday
that's something that was posted before
district.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, yesterday from
today
Rome,
we're talking about
Georgia.
Tariffs. That was yesterday evening, guys. Little bit of
No, you're good. It says we'll begin shortly. Yeah, we're good. All right. So with that, I mean, it's confusing. Like we're just waiting. We're waiting. We're good. Let's see. Where's YouTube now? Now I'm all like I'm discombobulated.
You got the hit with the discombobulator.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're still waiting for President Donald J. Trump. Somebody says it'll come up. So he was supposed to start at 12:45. It is now 1:15, so that's literally 30 minutes so far late, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so far.
I just want to make sure my math was mathing.
Yeah, you're not mathing.
Oh, I'm mathing all right.
Hey, you're mathing.
I want to just quickly show you this, too. This is interesting. John Roberts, who is on the Supreme Court. Chief Justice John Roberts is still Roberts is the ultimate rhino in a black robe. He saved Obamacare in 2012, now obsessed with the legitimacy while letting activist judges sabotage America. This was a post in 2012. John Roberts arrived in Malta yesterday. Maybe we'll get lucky and he will stay there. But just so you know, in July of 2012, there's John Roberts. He was going to go teach at a Malta school, all about the Supreme Court history. But it was a good little vacation for him to get out of there because he wanted to timely escape from intense political backlash and media scrutiny in the U.S. following his vote to uphold the Affordable Care Act. Rhino.
Boy, oh boy.
Wow, right?
I mean, watching all of the corruption that we've been watching for our whole lives and seeing so much of it hit a brick wall right now. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think that the reason that the people that were the Flinfo wars, I think that the reason they're acting like this is because the money's drying up. I honestly do think that there is a large contingent of the money that has been supplying. I really do not think that these entities make money. I think that they're all supported that they're all fake, like these different media companies that popped up in 2020 out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden they're well funded and they have all these different things going on for them. And meanwhile, they don't really ever get anything right. Like, how can you constantly be giving information out? Like, let's say Alex Jones, for instance, for 30 years. And in all reality, I mean, Alex Jones was telling us in 1999 that, Y2K was going to destroy the internet. And here we sit in 2026 and the internet is fine. The internet is growing. And like all of these different people that have been kettled into the thought processes of doom and gloom have found themselves effectively in the exact same echo chamber that the neocons wanted you in.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was ever going to lead us out of that, man. And then the reality is what they're attacking is the person that is trying to lead you out of it.
Yeah.
There's no other way to take this apart. There's no other way to pretend like, that the alt-right media is getting this wrong. I have literally flipped through every single one of their posts. It doesn't matter if it's Laura Logan, doesn't matter if it's Michael Flynn Jr., doesn't matter if it's Owen Schroyer, doesn't matter who it is. It's doom and gloom, doom and gloom. Twitter has become the ultimate doom scrolling device. Deep Dream is real, and they are trying to make it seem like what it is that Donald Trump is doing is against your best interest, and that's just not true.
Yeah. Oh my God. Mitch McConnell came out with a statement here. Today, the Supreme Court reaffirmed authority that has rested with Congress for centuries. The American people already know that tariffs make building and buying here at home more expensive. Only if you buy the stuff.
Wow. That's a lot.
And Kentuckians understand this painful reality better than most, but the use of IEEPA to circumvent Congress in the imposition of tariffs already without precedent isn't just bad policy, it's also illegal. My full state. He didn't write this.
No, he did not write that.
And
Rand
by
Paul
the
wrote
way,
that.
somebody from China probably wrote that. His wife is Chinese shipping magnet.
Yes, and Rand Paul agrees with him.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Both of them agree from Kentucky, where Fort Knox is, by the way. Isn't it interesting that China controls all the politicians in Kentucky, whether it be Rand Paul, Tom Massey, or Mitch McConnell? Who's in control there? Who's actually advocating for anything that is productive for your country? It's just very interesting how they're all made these huge investments. Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell spent the last 20 years making massive investments in China, and now they're advocating for the tariffs to be removed from the Chinese goods so that American companies can't compete with the Chinese goods any longer.
And Shady, what happened to that Tesla person that drowned in Mitch McConnell's driveway?
That was his wife's sister.
Huh. What happened with that?
No, nothing on that. She was like in her car. Next thing you know, she's in her Tesla in the pond.
So vote this way or you will get Elaine Chao. There's Elaine Chao. She used to be the Secretary of Labor, but she's got a pretty interesting history. Here we go. President Donald Trump coming out right now. Let's go.
Live.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
That is a lot of people. We got him here.
A new
You
record.
don't see him yet.
You set a record every
set
time.
a record every
We see-
time.
Well, thank you very much. For being here.
Doubled.
What?
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs
Yes.
is
There we go.
deeply
Easy, killers.
disappointing,
Love you.
and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court. Absolutely ashamed for not having
Maybe John Roberts.
the courage to do
Barrett.
what's right for our country. I'd like to thank and congratulate Justices Thomas, Alito, and Kavanaugh for their strength and wisdom and love of our country, which is right now very proud of those justices. When you read the dissenting opinions, there's no way that anyone can argue against them. There's no way. Foreign countries that have been ripping us off for years are ecstatic. They're so happy. And they're dancing in the streets, but they won't be dancing for long, that I can assure you. The Democrats on the court are thrilled, but they will automatically vote no. They're an automatic no, just like in Congress. They're an automatic no. They're against anything that makes America strong, healthy, and great again. They also are a, frankly, disgrace to our nation, those justices. They're an automatic no, no matter how good a case you have. It's a no. You can't knock their loyalty. One thing you can do with some of our people. Others think they're being politically correct, which has happened before far too often with certain members of this court, and it's happened so often with this court. What a shame. Having to do with voting in particular, when in fact they're just being fools and lapdogs for the rhinos and the radical left Democrats, and not that this should have anything at all to do with it. They're very unpatriotic and disloyal to our Constitution. It's my opinion that the court has been swayed by foreign interests and a political movement that is far smaller than people would ever think. It's a small movement. I won by millions of votes. We won in a landslide. With all the cheating that went on, there was a lot of it. We still won in a landslide. Too big to rig. But these people are obnoxious, ignorant, and loud. They're very loud. And I think certain justices are afraid of that. They don't want to do the right thing. They're afraid of it. This was an important case to me, more as a symbol of economic national security. And also, I would say, just for our country itself, so important, because we're doing so well as a country. We've never done so well. The good news is that there are methods, practices, statutes, and authorities, as recognized by the entire court in this terrible decision, and also as recognized by Congress, which they refer to, that are even stronger than the IEEPA tariffs available to me as president
Boom.
of the United States. And in actuality, I was very modest in my ask of other countries and businesses because I wanted to do, and it's very important, I wanted to be very well behaved because I wanted to do anything, I didn't want to do anything that would affect the decision of the court.
Time to not be
And
nice.
the court, I understand how they're very easily swayed. I want to be a good boy. I have very effectively utilized tariffs over the past year to make America great again. Our stock market has just recently broken 50,000 on the Dow, and simultaneously, and even more amazingly, broken 7,000 on the S&P, two numbers that everybody thought upon our landslide election victory could not be attained. Think of that. Nobody thought it was possible to do it within 4 years, and we did it in 1 year. They said, you'll never be able, you'll go back and you read the geniuses, read their statements, all of the Nobel Prize winners in economics. They said, no, you couldn't do it in 4 years. Well, we didn't do it in 4 years. We did it in 1 year. We broke every record in the book, and we're continuing to do so. Tariffs have likewise been used to end 5 of the 8 wars that I settled 8 wars, whether you like it or not, including India, Pakistan, big ones, nuclear, could have been nuclear. Prime Minister of Pakistan said yesterday at the great meeting that we had, the Peace Board, he said yesterday that President Trump could have saved 35 million lives by getting us to stop fighting. They were getting ready to do some bad things. But they've given us great national security, these tariffs have. And together with our strong borders, reduced fentanyl coming into our country by 30%. When I use them as a penalty against countries illegally sending this poison into our country, poison our youth. All of those tariffs remain. They all remain. I don't know if you know that or not. They all remain. We're still getting them. And we will after the decision. Guess there's nobody left to appeal to. But again, those 3 people, such respect. I've had a lot of respect for them anyway, but such great respect. But other alternatives will now be used to replace the ones that the court incorrectly rejected. We have alternatives. Great alternatives. Could be more money. We'll take in more money.
Don't be a panicking.
We'll be a lot stronger for it. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. We'll continue to do so. To show you how ridiculous the opinion is, however, the court said that I'm not allowed to charge even $1. I can't charge $1. Can't charge $1. I would have used 1 penny, but we don't make the pennies anymore. We save money. Can't charge $1 to any country under IEEPA. Not $1. I assume to protect other countries. This must have been done to protect those other countries, certainly not the United States of America.
Exactly what we said.
Which they should be interested in protecting. That's what they're supposed to be protecting. But I am allowed to cut off.
Isn't it amazing how on point we are with President Trump, Shady?
Again, yep, it is.
Again.
Any and all trade or business with that same country. In other words, I can destroy the trade. I can destroy the country. I'm even allowed to impose a foreign country destroying embargo. I can embargo. I can do anything I want, but I can't charge $1. Because that's not what it says. And that's not the way it even reads. I can do anything I want to do to them, but I can't charge any money. So I'm allowed to destroy the country, but I can't charge them a little fee. I could give them a little 2-cent fee, but I cannot charge under any circumstances. I cannot charge them anything. Think of that. How ridiculous is that? I'm allowed to embargo them. I'm allowed to tell them you can't do business in the United States anymore. We want you out of here. But if I want to charge them $10, I can't do that. Incorrect. Their decision's incorrect. But it doesn't matter because we have very powerful alternatives that have been approved by this decision. You know, they've been approved by the decision for those that thought they had us. And they're saying that I have the absolute right to license, but not the right to charge a license fee. So think of that. I have the right to license, a very powerful word. In many ways, license is more powerful than tariffs. In fact, I was thinking about using it. But they came up with the idea that I can license, just like the people that were opposing me told them to do, but not the right to charge a license fee. Think of that. Who ever heard of such a thing? What license has ever been issued without the right to charge a fee? You get a license, you charge a fee. It's automatic, but not with this court. But now the court has given me the unquestioned right to ban all sorts of things from coming into our country, to destroy foreign countries. But a much more powerful right than many people ever thought we even had, but not the right to charge a fee. How crazy is that? Our country is the hottest country anywhere in the world right now. And it was a dead country 1.5 years ago under an incompetent president. But now I'm going to go in a different direction. Probably the direction that I should have gone the first time, but I read the language. I'm very good at reading language, and it read our way 100%, but now I'll go the way I could have gone originally, which is even stronger than our original choice. As Justice Kavanaugh, whose stock has gone so well, you have to see, I'm so proud of him, wrote in his dissent Although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. So, I think of that. The decision might not substantially constrain. And it doesn't, he's right. In fact, I can charge much more than I was charging. So I'm going to just start. Although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. That's because numerous other federal statutes, which is so true, authorize the president to impose tariffs and might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs issued in this case. Even more tariffs, actually. Those statutes include, think of that, those statutes include, for example, the Trade Expansion Act of 1962, Section 232. All of these things I know so well. The Trade Act of 1974, Sections 122
Wow.
1301. And the Tariff Act of 1930, Section 338, all clear. But it's a little bit longer process. I thought that'd make things simple, but they didn't let us do that. I would like to thank Justice Kavanaugh for frankly, his genius and his great ability. Very proud of that appointment. In actuality, while I am sure that they did not mean to do so, the Supreme Court's decision today made a president's ability to both regulate trade and impose tariffs more powerful and more crystal clear rather than less. I don't think they meant that. I'm sure they didn't. Terrible. And to think that the Democrats who oppose this only because they want to go the opposite way. They'd like to pack the court. They want to put on 21 people. They want to pack the court, pack the Supreme Court. Maybe they should do it. Maybe they would be better off if they did it. They want to pack the court. They want to do anything to hurt our country. There will no longer be any doubt, and the income coming in and the protection of our companies and country will actually increase because of this decision. I don't think the court meant that, but that's the way it is. Based on long-standing law and hundreds of victories, and even, as I was pointed out before, even thousands of victories over the years. To the contrary, the Supreme Court did not overrule tariffs. They merely overruled a particular use of IEEPA tariffs. And essentially, it's the use to get a fee. I can do anything I want with IEEPA. Anything. I just can't charge anybody for it. I can license, I just can't charge them. It's ridiculous, but it's okay because we have other ways, numerous other ways. The ability to block, embargo, restrict, license, or impose any other condition on a foreign country's ability to conduct trade with the United States under IEEPA has been fully confirmed by this decision. So now there's no doubt, because, there were a lot of questions about tariffs because no president was smart enough to use them to protect our country from those countries and businesses that were ripping us off. You took a look at the deficits that we had with some of these countries. It was disgraceful what they got away with for many, many decades. But now we know because this decision affirms all those things that some people weren't sure about. In order to protect, and it says so, in order to protect our country, a president can actually charge more tariffs than I was charging in the past period of a year under the various tariff authorities. So we can use other of the statutes, other of the tariff authorities, which have also been confirmed and are fully allowed. Therefore, effective immediately, all national security tariffs under Section 232 and existing Section 301 tariffs, they're existing, they're there, remain in place, fully in place, and in full force and effect. Today, I will sign an order to impose a 10% global tariff under Section 122 over and above our normal tariffs already being charged. And we're also initiating several Section 301 and other investigations to protect our country from unfair trading practices of other countries and companies. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And quite simply, which I've said for a long time, make America great again. And interestingly, we've already made it great, so I don't have to use that, but I don't think we'll ever give up on MAGA. MAGA is always going to be with us. If you have a few questions, you can let us know.
All right.
But just to end, so
Wait.
we're going forward. We will be able to take in more money, and there'll no longer be doubt, because there was always doubt. I know the people that brought the lawsuit, and they're sleazebags, major sleazebags, but I know them, and they're foreign country centric.
Isn't
They
that
were
what we
sending
said, Shane?
things into our country, and the people representing them knew full well, but they were sending things into our country, and they were beneficial to other countries, but very, very bad for us. And I stopped it, and we'll just keep it going. So we have a totally firm decision now, and I don't think the court meant it, because the court doesn't show great spirit toward our country, in my opinion. A lot of bad decisions, but there are usually ways around it. This is something we could have done, as Justice Kavanaugh said, we could have done this originally, but we're doing it now, and the numbers could be far greater than the hundreds of billions we've already taken in.
All right, so I'm going to just post it right there, and we'll listen to the comments. But what you guys got to understand is Ketanji Brown Jackson was financed by Arabella Advisors, which means foreign and domestic billionaires George Soros. George Soros doesn't want these taxes because he's making money over in China and other countries. Hans-Jörg Wyss, never heard of him, have you? Well, he's doing the same thing. These people are controlled, and they got Ketanji, they got her, and they got the other people with these sleaze bags that don't love your country. And President Trump, they should have just left well enough alone, Shady, because now it's going to get worse, bro.
Learning Resources, Inc. is the name that he is talking about. The Leering Resources, Inc. Vernon Hills, Illinois-based, family-owned company founded in 1984 that designs and distributes educational toys and leering materials for children, parents, and teachers, known for STEM products like Botley and Coding Robot and Spike the Fine Motor Hedgehog. They create products for home and classroom. This is the company, this is the group that brought this case standing up against tariffs. This is a Chinese crap manufacturing entity that is being supported. This is much like your Democrat politicians supporting the people that say get rid of ICE. This is your Republican politicians supporting people that say stop the pressure on the Chinese economy.
Wow. Let's listen to the questions of the It's going to be great.
Let me real quick. I want to give my take on what he just said. They are screwed. Thank you.
Screwed.
Yes.
That's a good take because, they should have just left well enough alone. President Trump is saying, hey, you should have just left. Now I'm going to be worse. You guys, you see how this works?
They couldn't leave it. So now, you know what happens, Jeff? You're bad, you get put in the corner. But then what happens when you try to walk out of the corner?
Yeah.
That means you don't get the corner treatment anymore. You get the next level of punishment.
Yeah. And what I love is that we showed you about Roberts. We just told you about Ketanji Brown. These are the people he was talking about. Okay. We talked about it before he came out. We also talked about how he has other tools. Don't panic is the name in the title. Do not panic. Okay. And God bless Donald J. Trump. This is the president that you wanted. This is good for your children, but they just done messed up, Shady.
While he was talking, I was reading what Gorsuch said. And man, I mean, we might have a Ketanji Brown Jackson light in that guy.
Yeah.
He is not a smart human.
And Q-Shaw, thank you for the 10 gifted subscriptions. We're going to the questions now. Thank you.
Oh, this should be a hoot.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I'm very curious. You've spoken about
in the red.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Justice Thomas and Alito, as you know, are the most conservative constitutional justices. Do you think that you'll get to appoint 2 more justices later this term with similar ideologies? And what type of vetting process will they go through to ensure they uphold?
I don't know, but they're great justices. That's all I can say. And I hope they're going to be around a long time. I hope they're going to stay healthy. They're great people. They're great, and Justice Alito too. To add to the group, these are great men.
Right.
They're with a great love of our country and a great understanding of the law.
Mr. President, are you going to ask Congress to take additional action on tariffs now?
No, I don't need to. It's already been approved.
Oh, we don't want them.
And probably get it. When people look at the real numbers, and you look at hundreds of billions of dollars that have come into our country. Yesterday, I was at a steel plant, as you know, and went to great place, great plant, great, wonderful people. And they were telling me, I said to them, you were there, a lot of the press in this room. Of course, I don't think this plane's big enough to take the press in this room, but a lot of the press right here. We were in Georgia. And I said to the owner, I made a speech at a factory. They make steel products. And I said, how are you? Nice to meet you. How's business? President, I'd love to kiss you. This is a very powerful man. I don't want to be kissed by that man. Powerful, strong man. He's been in the steel business for many years. His father started it. And he said, sir, I want to kiss you. I said, why? I said, because we were down to working 1 hour a week. And then you came in and imposed tariffs. And all of that foreign junk that they were dropping into our country stopped. And we're now going to double shifts, 7 days a week, and we may be very soon going to 24 hours around the clock, almost 7 days a week. He said, sir, I want to kiss you so badly. And I said, no, thank you. But you know what? He just to finalize it, he said, oh, this is a great place in Georgia. He said, all up and down the highway. Same exact answer, sir. We're all going out of business. We're going to go bankrupt. We're all going out of business. And now every one of us are thriving, and we're hiring people like we haven't. He said, like I've never, and he's been in business for, I think, 45 years, like we've never hired before. That's because of tariffs. And we're going to keep it going the same way. And you're going to start to see the results in a year from now when all those factories start that are under construction right now. You see all the construction numbers are so good. Those construction workers are building factories that are going to be open, including not only AI, which is big, but car plants coming in from Canada, who ripped us off for 30% of our market. Mexico ripped us off for a big portion. Over the years, they've taken our market. They've taken our cars. They manufacture them in Japan, Germany, and all over the place because nobody's standing in this position. The position I have as President of the United States had the insight, the courage, well, I don't know what it is, to charge tariffs. You can make your product outside. You can put our people out of business. You can put everybody on the unemployment rolls. But if you're going to make a car in some other country, you're going to pay a 15, 20, 30% tariff. And those things would have never happened. We wouldn't have lost our business. Same thing with, as an example, Taiwan. Taiwan came in. They stole our chip business. They make chips. For 30 years longer, they made chip, and they put our companies. Intel would be now the largest company. I saved Intel. I literally saved it at the beginning of this administration. And now all those companies in Taiwan are building factories in Arizona, Texas, and various other places because they don't want to pay tariffs. They're all pouring into the United States. But just like that great patriot said yesterday, sir, what you've done, nobody thought was possible. And Steve Moore, a highly respected economist, came into my office yesterday. He said, you've done something nobody's ever done. 22 Nobel Prize winners in economics said we would right now be in a recession. And you said, no, we're going to have a booming country. We're going to have a booming country. You were right. All 22 were wrong, and you were right. This country is booming, and it's booming because of the election on November 5th, and it's booming for another reason. It's booming because of tariffs. Yeah, please, go ahead.
What was said ahead of this decision that if the Supreme Court
please,
ruled...
go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. What will you say to foreign nations who seek to renegotiate their deals? And what did you mean a moment ago when you said that the Supreme Court has been swayed by foreign interests?
Well, I think that foreign interests are represented by people that I believe have undue influence. They have a lot of influence over the Supreme Court, whether it's through fear or respect or friendships, I don't know. But I know some of the people that were involved on the other side. and I don't like them. I think they're real slime balls. And got to do what's right for the country. You got to do what's right for the Constitution. That's why I respect so much Justice Thomas and Alito, Kavanaugh, because they not only dissented, their dissent is so strong. When you read their dissent, a lot of times you'll read a dissent and it's like, well, you don't know, it could go either way. There's no other way. The good news is, it's like Justice Kavanaugh said, very strongly said, you have other ways you can go. You don't have to go that way. You can go other way. There are numerous other ways you can go. And frankly, this should have been done by presidents many years ago. They allowed our country to be eaten alive. We lost 50% of our car business. We used to make cars. We made all the cars. And then Mexico came, Canada came, and Japan and Germany. But they're all coming back now. They're all coming back at record levels. No, you please. I'm not talking to you. I don't talk to CNN. It's fake news. Go ahead.
Mr. President, yesterday you made the case that the economy is the hottest it's been in a long time. Right. January jobs report beat expectations, CPI report beat expectation, real wages are up. What would you tell Americans who are worried that this decision will kind of throw the economy that you have projected going in the right direction at a very rapid pace off track?
Well, thank you for the question. And I will say this, we really are at a very important point. I've been waiting for this decision so long. They could have made this decision a long time ago. Not complex. They're wrong on it. It's a ridiculous decision. But they should have released this a long time ago. We waited months. And that gave uncertainty. Now we have certainty. And I think you're going to see the country get much stronger because of it. Look, we were ripped off by almost every country in the world. If you look at the surpluses, almost every country in the world that did business with us, our people were stupid. And I blame presidents for it because they're ultimately the leader. We were being ripped off by almost every single country in the world, had some massive surpluses. China had hundreds of billions of dollars in surpluses with the United States. They rebuilt China. They rebuilt the army. We built China's army by allowing that to happen. I have a great relationship with President Xi, but he respects our country now. Now, what we've done, I charged China a 20% tariff as a penalty for sending fentanyl in. And that was 20 times more than they could make by selling fentanyl. And I said, at some point you're going to say, and they have reduced it. Fentanyl is down by more than 30% coming into our country. Part of that is our strong border. We have a strong border now. But thank you. Thank you for your question.
Mr. President, sir, you warned once in a social media post that if the Supreme Court did this, shot down your tariffs, the U.S. would be, quote, financially defenseless. Are we financially defenseless right now?
No, because we're doing something in a different way. We're doing something in a very powerful way, and we're using things that some people thought we should have used in the first place. But it's more complicated. It's a little more complicated. The process takes a little more time, but the end result is going to get us more money, and I think it's going to be great. Yeah, please. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. So, since Liberation Day, there's about $175 billion in tariff revenue that is now in limbo. Do you have to refund $175 billion?
Think of it, Peter. Very fair question. They take months and months to write an opinion, and they don't even discuss that point. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, not millions, hundreds of billions of dollars. And so I said, well, what happens to all the money that we took in? It wasn't discussed. Wouldn't you think they would have put one sentence in there saying that keep the money or don't keep the money, right? I guess it has to get litigated for the next 2 years.
Because so they want it litigated.
Terrible, defective decision, totally defective. It's almost like not written by smart people. And what they do, they don't even talk about that. Your question is very basic. That was the first question I asked also to make you feel good. I said, what about all the money that we've taken in? Sir, they don't discuss that. How crazy is that?
What you're saying is, are you saying that you don't plan to honor refunds for companies that file for them?
I just told you the answer, right? I told you the answer. It's not discussed. We'll end up being in court for the next 5 years. Go ahead, Green.
Thank you, Mr. President. When you are talking about the relationship with countries that you have sought trade deals with, do you anticipate that they will seek to renegotiate those? What do you say to them? And do you view this as a potential undermining power for your
We're
negotiations?
going straight ahead with 10% straight across the board, which was the absolute right to do. And that's taking place. That's a lot of money coming into our country. And then during that period of about 5 months, we are doing the various investigations necessary to put fair tariffs or tariffs, period, on other countries. So we're doing that period, but we're immediately instituting the 10% provision, which we're allowed to do. And in the end, I think we'll take in more money than we've taken in before.
President, you've used the tariff revenue to pay for a host of federal policies. You claim that they will pay for them. What happens
Well,
to
like
those
the
things?
farmers, we took care of farmers. You know, the farmers were mistreated by foreign countries very badly, very, very badly. And last week I gave them $12 billion out of tariff money. We intend to, out of tariff money, because just so you understand, we have tariffs. We just have them in a different way. And now they've been confirmed by the Supreme Court of the United States. So there's no longer that question out there about tariffs. And we'll be taking in hundreds of billions of dollars. And countries that have treated us badly will have to pay a price for treating us badly. And countries that have been good to us will be treated very well. We just left the top person in a place called Vietnam, just left my office. Great gentleman, strong and smart. He said, you know, I think this means you're allowed to charge us more tariffs than before. And Canada said to Jameson, I might want to say it, Jameson, but Canada said, I hope you win this decision, because if you don't win, you'll actually be allowed to charge us with a little additional work, higher tariffs. Jameson, you want to comment on that?
Yes, sir. So, the President's point, we have a lot of tools out there. We have Section 122, which will be implemented today. It will be signed today and implemented very shortly. We have Section 301 investigations, which are incredibly legally durable, where we can investigate and address unfair trading practices that have led to our huge trade deficit. And so you can look forward in the coming days and weeks to seeing all of that come out, and we're going to keep continuity in the program. We're going to keep addressing this so that the deficit can keep going down. That's the trend it has, and we can make America great again.
No.
Several of Republicans in Congress have supported this decision by the Supreme Court. And Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader, has called you a wannabe king. Why wouldn't
him a low IQ?
But why wouldn't
he doesn't even know? And I watched him the other day interview. The guy doesn't even know what a tariff is.
But there's been bipartisan criticism
No, not bipartisan.
of the tariffs.
Excuse me.
There's several
A few
Republicans
people.
have said that.
Yeah, a
Why
few people.
wouldn't you just work with Congress to come up with a plan?
I don't have to.
To push tariffs.
I have the
through?
right to do tariffs, and I've always had the right to do tariffs. And it's all been approved by Congress.
He's the executive.
There's no reason to do it. All we're doing is we're going through a little bit more complicated process. Not complicated very much, but a little more complicated than what we had. We'll be able to take in tariffs, more tariffs. And the Congress people and the Congress
down the Canadian tariffs last week.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
been votes
you
in
know
the
why?
Senate against it.
Yeah, because we lost 2 Republicans or 3 Republicans because they're not good Republicans. What you don't say, you don't say that we got 215 votes.
You need 218 for something to pass.
Yeah, sure we do. We might have lost 3 votes, and what was the score on the Republican side? 215 to 3, right? But you don't say that. We have great unity. There's great unity in the Republican Party, and I hope everyone's going to vote Republican, because otherwise you won't have a country left. Because these people have been they are destroying our country. Please.
Mr. President, the 122 tariffs, that 10%,
Yeah.
is that going to be for 150 days, or do you want to charge that indefinitely?
We have a right to do pretty much what we want to do, but we're going to charge it starting effectively, I think it's 3 days from now. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you speak to a lot of factory workers, a lot of manufacturing workers. What does the Supreme Court ruling say? What's that message to those factory workers?
Well, I think the factory workers are happy because we're now telling them that they're going to... Look, the man I met with yesterday who owned a factory was out of business. He was out of business. And now he's employing 5 times. In fact, I walked in, he's got a brand new crane. I said, how old is that crane? We got it in December. He's allowed to write it off in 1 minute. The great big beautiful act gave no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. He said this great, big, beautiful bill, frankly, has been the best thing that's ever happened for the workers of the, much more so than for rich people. The only thing it does for rich people, it allows them to hire a lot more people. But when I saw him, and then he said, it's all up and down the line. This is a place in Georgia, all up and down. Other factories doing different, not only steel products, different. He said, every one of us was out of business. We could barely make it. Some of them were down to less than an hour a week. Think of it, 1 hour a week to make just a few little trinkets or whatever they make. Now they're going round the clock. I had it a month ago. I went to Michigan, went to Ford, and I met with Bill Ford, the head of Ford, and we were in one of the biggest plants, an original plant from the early 1900s, where, by the way, I might add this, it's not really relevant, but it's all relevant. Murders are down the lowest since 1900, around the time that he had this plant. That's 125 years. We have the lowest murder rate. Okay. And our crime is way down in the country. The factories that we're talking about, the people that we're talking about, they are so thrilled with Trump. Whether we charge IEEPA tariffs or whether we charge tariffs under a different section, that's what we're going to be doing. There's no way we can lever. This is what happened to our country. This is why we owe $38 trillion, which we'll get rid of in pretty good course. We have a very incompetent Fed chairman who likes high interest rates. For political reasons, he likes them. But we're going to have somebody very good. Interest rates should come down very substantially. I think we should pay the lowest interest rates on the planet. There should be no country, and we don't do that. We're number 38. This is just bad policy for a long period of time. But what's happened is we've made America strong again. We've made America great again. We should pay. As an example, the country of Switzerland, we were getting almost no tariffs from them. We had a $40 billion deficit. And the prime minister called me up. She said, but we are a small country, because I said we're going to raise it to 39% from nothing. That would have rendered them not very successful, as opposed to right now, they're considered elite. But if we put a tariff, and I realized then, she said, but sir, we are a small country. I said, you're a small country with a big deficit. For us, you're making a lot of money off the United States. If we do that, a lot of these elite countries, they're elite because we let them make so much money. And I want them to do well. But I don't want them to do well on the backs of the American taxpayer. So I appreciate your question. I think it's a reasonable answer.
President Trump, you said that you were disappointed with that, but were you surprised with this decision? What you felt when you...
I was surprised because I thought that what we did was, number one, according to... I mean, I read the paragraphs. I read very well. Great comprehension. I read everything there is to read. And
He's so good.
Can't do it in this case. But we can when judges are political, when they want to be politically correct, when they're catering to a group of people in D.C. Maybe. I don't know what it is, because when you read it, there's no other interpretation. There is no other interpretation. But it's okay, because what has come out, I'll say it for the third time and maybe the last time in a while, is that we've taken the uncertainty of tariffs out, because we had uncertainty. We got sued by sleazebags, I know them well, that are very outside country, China-centric, but outside country-centric. And they're going to end up not doing as well as they did before. America was becoming really, really, we're strong again. Hey, we have the strongest military. I rebuilt the military in the first term. We have the most powerful military. We make the best equipment. And even them, we could do much better. We have people that get paid a lot of money to manufacture Patriot missiles and javelins and all the different things. But when you want them, they're too slow. And we put them on notice, and they're going to make, our country is building a lot of things right now, and our country is doing really well. And we're going to keep it that way. The bottom line is that the word certainty is now in the equation. Every single thing I said today is guaranteed certainty. It's been tested, as Jameson said 1,000 times. literally, I said hundreds of times. He said there are actually thousands of times, and won in all of the courts. And we're just going back to that. And the problem is that we had other presidents that weren't into trade. Maybe they weren't business oriented. Maybe they weren't smart. We had some dummies too, you know. I respectfully say we had some real dummies. So we are going to keep it going just as before, probably more so. But you're no longer going to be asked every time I got up. You'd ask, well, what happens if you can't charge tariffs? Now we can. And by the way, in their decision, they specifically said we can do these. We have alternatives. Yeah.
David, on the trade deals that were negotiated using IEEPA tariffs,
Yeah.
do those stand now, or are they have to be redone?
Some of them stand. Many of them stand. Some of them won't, and they'll be replaced with the other tariffs.
Mr. President, the Supreme Court justices who ruled against this the policy, striking it down, are they still invited to your State of the Union next week? And will you speak with them?
They are invited, barely. Barely. 3 are happily invited. No, they're barely invited. Honestly, I couldn't care less if they come. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. On the trade deal, which is the framework which is to be signed with India sometime soon, will that stand now? And on the decision, nothing changes.
No, nothing changes. They'll be paying tariffs, and we will not be paying tariffs. Our deal with India is they pay tariffs. This is a reversal from what it used to be, as you know. India, and I think Prime Minister Modi is a great gentleman, a great man, actually, but he was much smarter than the people that he was against in terms of the United States. He was ripping us off in India. So we made a deal with India, and it's a fair deal now, and we are not paying tariffs to them, and they are paying tariffs. We did a little flip.
So are up as of now for this, Mr. President?
No, the India deal is on here.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
All the deals are on it. We're just going to do it a different way.
Mr. President. Thank you so much, Mr. President. I think there's another war that you stopped and you should take the credit, which is in Syria. Secretary Rubio, after his meeting in Munich with the Syrian Foreign Minister and the Kurdish General Muslim Abdi, he said that President Trump was directly involved in efforts to stop the fighting between the Kurds and the Syrians. How will your administration make sure that this peace is sustained? And do you support the idea
Well, it's a very different topic, and so I don't want to spend a lot of time. But all I can say is that the president of Syria, who I essentially put there, is doing a phenomenal job. He's a rough guy. He's not a choir boy. A choir boy couldn't do it. But Syria is coming together, really coming together well. And thus far, he's been very good to the Kurds. Yeah.
Thank you. Mr. President, what's your message to the Iranian people after 2 rounds of talks with them? Do you have any message to the Iranian people?
The Iranian people in Iran or people here?
People in Iran.
They better negotiate a fair deal. They better negotiate. You know, the people of Iran are a lot different than the leaders of Iran. And it's very, very, very sad situation. But 32,000 people were killed over a relatively short period of time. They were going to hang 800, 2 weeks ago, hang, some by crane. They lift them up with a tall crane, and they play them around the square. They were going to hang 837 people. And I gave them the word, if you hang one person, even one person, that you're going to be hit right then and there. I wasn't waiting 2 weeks and negotiating. And they gave up the hanging. They didn't hang 837. Supposedly, they didn't hang anybody. But no, I feel very badly for the people of Iran. They've lived in hell. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. You mentioned multiple times foreign influence over the Supreme Court. Do you have evidence of that? And if not, will you investigate that?
You're going to find out.
What alternatives are you going to put into place in your relationship with Europe, and also those tariffs that have been called illegal? How they're going to go impact the relationship with Russia, that you sanctions?
Well, I want Europe to strengthen up. Europe has gone woke. Europe is not recognizable when you go into so many places. Not all countries. You look at Hungary. You look at Poland, Czech, Slovakia. There are some countries that have gone very much the opposite. Some really, and some others. But Europe has to be strong, and they become soft and not recognizable. You go into some of the countries, I don't want to be specific, but I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. And they're not recognizable. They become, the environmentalists have taken over. They've got windmills destroying their fields and their beautiful meadows and their oceans, and they're paying a fortune. Now, Europe has to get smart. Europe's getting killed on two things, energy and immigration. And if they don't solve both of them fast, Europe is not the same place. Yeah, please.
Justices Gorsuch and Barrett, are you surprised in particular by their decision today?
I am.
And do you regret nominating them?
I don't want to say whether or not I regret. I think their decision was terrible. Yeah. I think it's an embarrassment to their families. You want to know the truth? The two of them. Yeah.
Specifically on that $2,000 tariff check.
Mr. President,
I didn't call you.
You didn't call me?
Yeah, Mr. President, to be clear, do you believe at the end of implementing these new tariff tools, the tariff rate and tariffs will ultimately be higher than they currently are?
Potentially higher. It depends, whatever we want them to be. But we want them to be fair for other countries. And, you know, we have some countries that have treated us really badly for years, and it's going to be high for them. And we have other countries that have been very good, and it's going to be very reasonable for them. Yeah.
So specifically on the tariffs question, I mean on the $2,000.
I didn't call you.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. Do you have any plans to travel to India for the Quad Summit, and how do you think your relationship with India is right now?
I think my relationship with India is fantastic. And we're doing trade with India. India pulled out of Russia. You know, India was getting its oil from Russia, right? And they pull way back at my request because we want to settle that horrible war where 25,000 people are dying every month. And my relationship with Prime Minister Modi is, I would say, great. I also stopped the war between India and Pakistan, as you know. There were 10 planes we shot down. That war was going and probably going nuclear. And just yesterday, the Prime Minister of Pakistan said President Trump saved 35 million lives by getting them to stop. And I did it largely with tariffs. I said, look, you're going to fight, that's fine, but you're not going to do business with the United States, and you're going to pay a 200% tariff, each country. And they called up and they said, we have made peace. Okay? I just want to thank you all. Look, great certainty has been brought back to the economy of the United States and actually the economy of the world, because we generate so much in the world. We're the biggest in the world, and we're now the strongest by far. We were a country that was dead 1.5 years ago. Now we have the hottest country in the world. We're going to keep it that way. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, everybody. Did you say 32,000? Look, a lot of people said, you know, if they're going to find out, right? A lot of people don't remember. We know that term, FAFO, Shady. Remember that term?
I do.
That was when Donald Trump went off in a fiery rant using that F word to condemn the violations of the Iran-Israeli ceasefire. That came from an Iran operation in the first term, Shady Groove.
Are the media paying the tariffs?
The media is not real. So honestly, it's a good question.
I mean, the way that they asked the question, you know, it's like, so if I were
glad you're so excited to see me.
Sorry, go ahead.
If I were a media person, I would be thinking like, you know, like it's kind of irrelevant to me, but I'm interested in the details. But the way that they ask the questions, they almost like act like, hey man, you know, I'm kind of tired of you taking the money out of my pocketbook here. You know, I mean, like, it's a very interesting way to ask questions. But here's my takeaway. We heard this in the movies, Jeff. You know, remember the movies? We could do this the easy way or the
hard way.
Right. So now we're doing this the hard way, and the hard way is always very different. See, the easy way, whenever you're raising children, the easy way or the hard way. Right? The easy way is that you listen to your parents and there's no punishment. The hard way is you didn't listen to your parents. Now there will be punishment.
Might get a whooping.
You're going to get a whooping. So every single one of these numbnuts are going to get a whooping. I'd like to address the chat, and I would like to say no. 2 things. That is not Lutnick's face. And no, Lutnick is not an issue. And no, Lutnick will not be going anywhere.
And who's in charge, Shady?
Donald Trump.
Oh.
Yeah.
We must create fear, uncertainty, and doubt on people in his administration. But people don't realize Donald Trump is in charge. And by them going ahead and going after Lutnick is to create an attack thereby on Donald J. Trump. Don't listen to it. I've tuned out of all these we'll point them out for you because we see them all the time. We're really good at spotting them, Shady.
Let me rephrase that just a little bit. They are too big of a coward to directly attack Donald Trump because they know of the pushback they're going to get. So instead of doing that, they attack Susie Wiles, they attack Howard Lutnick, they attack Kash Patel, and Pam Bondi. Correct. So all of the people in the network, they all will agree. Pam Bondi's no good, Kash Patel's no good, Dan Bongino's no good, Susie Wiles is no good, and now they've added Howard Lutnick to the mix. So it's like a heaping helping of PSYOP soup salad, okay? Salad with a P, S-P-S, salad. PSYOP soup salad. This is what you're eating. How can you have soup and a salad, you say, Shady? How can you? Because these people are idiots. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to weaken you, and they're trying to convince you that what they think is right and what Trump is doing is wrong. But what's good and ready to happen is what he's saying there is we tried this a way that was the most simple to get it done. Now they've said that we're not allowed to do it this way, but what they said was we are allowed to do it that way. So we're going to go do it that way, and we're not going to be giving them any of their money back, and we're not going to be giving them any relief. As a matter of fact, since you're being such a pain in the ass, we're going to do this the hard way.
I got another PSYOP to bust real quick before we get out of here.
Okay, let's do it. One more for this week.
But Shady, Bibi is in charge. Sorry.
Oh God, is that really in our chat?
Yeah.
Is that really in our chat?
That's really in our chat.
Okay, so honest to God.
It's so dumb.
Please, with your next comment, post to us your lodge number.
Yeah.
Tell us where you're from. Why don't you tell us if you're so proud to come in here and say BB controls Trump? The only people that are saying BB controls Trump is the Jesuit secret order operating as MAGA.
Imagine that.
That's a big news flash for all you guys out there. All these people that are saying Lutnick bad, Pam Bondi bad. Well, guess what? They've died and honor Hiram Abiff somewhere down the line.
Ducks, thank you so much for the $17 Rumble rant for overtime. Lindy, love me a rant. Thank you so much, $5 Rumble rant. And guys, I got to tell you about this before we get on out of here. All right, we've got the Rumble wallet because, they this is the Rumble. It went away. Did I goof it up? I goofed it up.
Double click?
Yeah.
Why do you double click?
Because. So anyways, I guess we'll just leave that. Dang it, man. I tell you, but get the Rumble wallet, guys. It's awesome. You can tip your own creator, your favorite creators on Rumble wallet. We love the Tether Gold, okay? They got the Tether dollar, they got the Tether Gold, and they got the Bitcoin. We love the gold. Thank you so much for that. And Shady, we're going to get on out of here. It is Friday. We did stick with President Donald J. Trump, and it's amazing how we were right, Shady.
Yeah, it's amazing how if you were sitting there watching the stock market, how the stock market was tracking with Donald Trump's words. Whenever he said that we're going to continue implementing tariffs, the stock market started to bounce back on that moment because the stock market isn't stupid like TV pundits.
Imagine that, Shady.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Somebody said a comment that the Democrats used to be for the workers. That's a communist term, and you see that they're communists now. They're full-blown communists. But, Donald Trump is for the worker. Donald Trump is for the children of the United States of America. Donald Trump is for the people, not for the foreign and domestic billionaires that want to, kill you, guys.
Wow. Amazing comment, Miss Apal Alna. Also, congrats to you guys. MG Show, the kids have asked for your show to be part of their daily thing. So as the principal of the homeschool, I made it so. We love you guys. Jeff, you need to watch your language.
I do. Sometimes I do. And but we need to explain to our children that those are adult words. Never repeat them, okay? And, and I apologize.
God bless you. Thank you so much for thinking that and deeming that important for people to understand that it's up to you to figure out what it is that's interesting to you, and then it's up to you to go find out for yourself. We're not here to tell you anything. We're here to show you what we think, and hope it helps.
That's right. So today's homeschool assignment is to watch hour number 1 and then watch Trump and see how we were right again.
All right. Yeah, exactly. A great DMG show. We're going to be expecting a grade every day.
And God bless you. God bless the American. And God bless we, the people, because this is essentially the government is being handed back to you, the people. Shady Groove will see you tomorrow. Monday.
Yeah, I get a couple of days.
It's Friday. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cold out there.
You have a choice. It's always been yours. A voice they can't silence. Breaking through the noise, they pull the strings, they set the stage, divide us with wars, lock us in a cage, race and class, faith and fear, they scream so loud, but we're still here, through MG show the truth breaks free. MG music lifts us, a rallying plea. Power to the people, hear the call ignite. Dark to light, we're stepping out tonight. They're losing grip, their shadows fade. Together we stand unafraid. Oh, power to the people. Its wings, power to the people, oh, power to the people, we rise.
www.mg.show. Boom.